Well, hello, everybody.
Hey-o.
Hello.
Welcome back to Sports and Spaghetti, episode 102.
102.
We have finally the three of us back again after a bunch of shuffling the past month and a half. And here we are. Nick, you're back.
Yes.
You weren't feeling well
I
last
was
week.
quite ill. I slept for like 36 hours straight.
Yeah, tell me about that.
I don't want to. It was pretty bad.
How do you sleep for 36 hours straight, even at your remarkable sleep ability?
Sleep ability. No, I was really sick. And excessive sleepiness was one of the symptoms.
I'm sorry. Well,
She had the vid.
No, I did not have the vid, actually. I thought I did. I tested. I did not.
you did? Wow. Yeah, you know, it's that time of year. I wouldn't know about that, though, because I'm on the spring breaks. I'm on the spring break, which means no Jolly Rancher word of the week this week. No Jolly Rancher word of the week. We're taking a week off from that because I said so. Today is an exciting day in sports and spaghetti history. Does anybody know why?
No. Enlighten us.
Because it's episode 102. That's why.
Every week is an exciting
It
episode.
We
is our
have-
first episode 102.
That
It
is.
is.
And no, it's exciting because we have a draft today and people like the drafts. And we have a little bit of a newfound following with these TikTok polls. So today I did one, and when you listen to this or watch on Saturday, it's already still up there. And we're going to get to it during in no particular order. But it did really well. We've got almost 50 votes in a couple of hours on the poll in about 9 hours. So we're going to do these polls. We're going to do our cuisine draft today. We're going to be debating and choosing our favorite cuisine styles from around the world and from the United States, which means, no, Nick, you cannot pick American food.
Got it.
Okay, you can't pick bland as your cuisine style.
Going to go regionally, and then this is going to set up what we'd like to call the summer of sports and spaghetti, because for the next 9 weeks, we're going all around the world, baby.
Yes.
So we're gonna decide a dish from each of these 9 different cuisines, and hopefully we open up some doors that we haven't been able to before.
That's right. And so with that, some rules. The first rule we already kind of said is that you cannot generalize in in our country, because American food, well, as we know, Chicago style food is a lot different than New York style food, especially like with pizza. So American food is very different and in such a broad stroke. So we're not going to do that. Now the next, go ahead.
So I was going to say, I don't think we should go regionally with the regions that are written. So Northeast doesn't have to be the traditional New England. You can kind of mix and match, right? So tri-state would be Connecticut, New York, New Jersey.
Right.
But New England can also have Connecticut. So it's kind of
Yes.
all mixed in.
Yep, and we can veto if we don't like where it's going. Another rule is that if you pick the country, then when it comes time, Nick, you should be listening.
I am listening.
When it comes time for this week's meal, you're cooking that cuisine. You will be making the food from that cuisine. So those are the basic rules. Okay?
Aye.
Mainly for you.
Okay, no.
And you know how the Impractical Jokers have, if you refuse a punishment, you're off the show? Well, if you don't cook that dish, you're off the show.
Okay.
And I don't want you to be off the show.
Okay, can we do like a Thursday that week or something? Because I swear to God, it's not happening
We
on
can
Wednesday.
make it work. We can make it work.
We could do Thursdays
Or
on your
Friday.
cooking
Fridays
week.
work too.
We can do a Thursday or Friday on weeks where you have to cook. I will make that deal. How about that? It's in stone. It's written in
Yeah.
stone. It's on air.
I just don't have time on Wednesdays.
I know it's a crazy day for you. It is. Wednesday's a busy day.
Well, I have no test this week, so I'm chilling today.
But that's
See,
okay.
I like the Friday records, but that's a tough turnaround to edit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. especially because that SD card, oh boy, little do the people know, that SD card was on its last legs. I had a piece of tape on it because the lock broke.
Well, it's like I like when you looked it up and you were like, how to fix the lock issue. And every answer was like, throw some tape on it and ride it till the wheels fall.
Right. So today I was trying to clear the card of the data so we could use it today, and it was not registering.
No bueno.
It was not. It was read only. I was like, this is a problem. I need a new one, and I can't get it today. It's not going to be me. It's got to be someone else.
Took a hot little stop at Staples.
And Anthony made it happen.
Stapes.
Anthony also picked up some hardware for editing food cooking videos, which is exciting.
Which we might have something special coming up. It was supposed to be for episode 100.
Yeah, well, we have it's in the pipeline. Well, there were events that took place in lives.
Yes.
But anyhow, what I will say is this: I am excited to hear what you guys have picked.
Cuisine wise?
Yeah, I am excited.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad you went to Staples, by the way.
I love a good Stapes. Where else
Because
would I go?
every time Best Buy,
Best.
and the reason why I have a problem with Best Buy, okay, is every time I go in there when I break one of these, because I'm me, I know exactly where it is in the store. I know exactly how much it costs, and I don't need any help. And I like talking to people. I like talking to strangers. I have no problem mingling and kibitzing with people. I have a problem when I go in there when they like, do you need any help? And I'm like, no, I don't know. I'm good. I know what I'm. Okay, just let me know. And then the next person, next layer of the
they're
store,
just doing their job.
They
bro.
are just doing
There's a
their
guy that's
job.
never worked in retail.
Yeah.
what can I do?
I think they get commish
Do you,
there, too.
do you know which one you
In
want?
fact, I know they get commish there.
Do you know? I said I've already got it in my hand. I said I've bought this 3 times.
To be
I've
fair,
broken
I
2.
also think they just don't want you to come back and be like, I got the wrong one. Because that probably really annoys them. It would annoy me.
So every time they do that, I have a podcast. I do a podcast. I broke it. Oh, okay, I got you. Did you find everything okay today? Yeah, it's fine. It's really okay.
I've made a copy of the key for the case, actually. I could get it in my...
It's also, Best Buy's also transitioned. They're very, like, pick up now. Like, you just order online and pick up outside. So when you actually go in the store, that kind of means you don't know what you're looking for, per chance.
Oh, I guess. Or my daughter's at dance and I have a half hour to kill on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, so you just go on the app, put whatever you need in there, and then it's waiting for
But
you
I
at the
could
door.
just walk in the store and get it with my hands. And I don't have to rely on some dummy to get the wrong thing. Waste my time. Okay? Anyway, the cuisine draft. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, cuisine draft, how we always determine the order. We're going to have Siri decide. We're going to go number 1 through 15. Call it out.
I was going to say, at this point, can't we just have ChatGPT? Like, pick one of us?
Sure.
I like that.
In the new AI era.
This is very forward thinking.
Yeah.
Very tech savvy.
I don't want to ruin the fun of the number game, but
No, that's okay.
I feel like there's no ties, there's no nothing.
That's
ChatGPT
right.
will just say, yo, Ant's picking first.
That's right.
So the prompt is write a snake draft order for Nick, Chris, and Ant.
Okay.
We cannot do this action. It involves betting.
Nope. We have Chris, Ant, Nikki.
Very well. Unhappy, but such is life. This was
me
my
see it.
idea after
I
all.
just closed it out.
Very good. Very well done. Chris, Ant, Nikki. So that means I'm picking first. That's too bad, Anthony.
I'm just writing it in.
That's too bad. He already wrote it. I'm picking Italian. Why? Because it's Italian. Italian.
Nah, that's Italian.
That's Italian. Italian is going to be my number 1 because I'm Italian. I know we're all Italian. But listen, it's my favorite cuisine to eat. Okay? It's not my favorite to cook. It's my favorite. See,
It's up there.
but then every time I say that, and the second one that'll probably be gone by the time it snakes back around to me, which I understand and I'm fine with. But every time I cook like meatballs or sauce or what, it's like or cutlets, there's nothing better. It's like it's the best.
Every time I do cutlets, whether it's chicken, whether it's pork, whether it's eggplant, I'm sitting there and it's like the whole breading process. I'm like, I hate every second of this.
I hate that.
And then I cut into the first one while it's hot and salty, and it's like,
the moment for me, the moment of truth where it turns from sucky to amazing is the minute it hits the pan and you start to smell the chicken cooking in the oil. Oh my God. Anyway, Italian is my number one. Anthony, you're up next.
well, Italian went 1 overall. I think everybody knows here what's going number 2 overall. I got to go with Greek food.
I knew it.
Here we go with Greek. I didn't have to worry about that.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
I wasn't picking that.
I got to go Greek food,
He could
especially
have taken that into 3.
especially the not like popular Greek stuff, like stuff people has never heard about. The fresh seafood with just the lemon juice. It's perfect.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Hey, that's your number one. I have a feeling Nick's number one is what he had for dinner tonight.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. Man, I'm between 3 right now. And
Well,
I have
luckily
2.
you've got 3 picks.
I've got 2, sir.
Oh, back to back.
Yeah, that's right. You snake it back.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to take a Mexican.
Okay, that was
as
the one.
such as done. I love me a good taco.
That's good
So-
because that's just one country.
Okay. I think we're on the same page.
That is one singular country.
Wait, am I doing all of my countries, or just one? I forgot.
No, you get 2 picks.
No. I meant when I cook. Am I
Oh
cooking?
no, you're cooking all of them.
Yeah,
All
you're
3?
doing all 3.
Oh, now I got to be more wise. All right.
This is influencing his decision.
Nah, whatever.
Yeah, you can't pick Cambodian
I'm
now.
confident in my cooking ability. So in the 2 spot, give me Chinese.
Wow!
Ba-boom
What
ba.
a pick!
Ba-boom
I was
ba.
not expecting
Ba-boom
that.
ba.
I didn't think it was going 2.
Ba-boom-ba. Give me Chinese, because you know what? I have faith that my third will stay on the board. Believe it or not.
That's unfortunate. That was a good pick.
That was a good one. Chinese food is hard to cook, though.
I will survive. Because Chris knows what I'm cooking. Because it's the only Chinese food I eat.
Chicken and broccoli without the broccoli.
I actually made sidebar. You can edit this out if you want.
Oh.
I made chicken. So I do meal preps every week, and I've been cooking with my mom. I've been making hers too.
Will you stop with the cut it out?
You can if you want.
I'm not going to cut it out.
Okay.
It's part of
We're
the
just
episode.
talking, bro.
So I did chicken and broccoli, and I made it like from scratch,
Yeah.
fried rice from scratch. I'll give you a tip when you're doing the fried rice because you have to
He
make
doesn't.
fried rice.
Shut up.
You gotta get the microwavable rice
Yes.
rather than cooking the rice, letting it sit out for a day and get hard. The microwavable one, because it's already pre-cooked, you just throw it in the pan, add everything, and it's like perfect.
But doesn't that take away all the nutrients, Anthony?
no, we're not going for nutrients in fried rice.
I guess.
But I just made it so the process you have to do to make the chicken, it's called velveting the chicken.
You know who velvets chicken like nobody's business is our mom.
So you cut it super thin and then you marinate it. It's like water, vinegar, baking soda,
Yeah, but
or water, vinegar.
you missed the first step there. You got to freeze it.
Yeah. Water, vinegar, cornstarch, or water, vinegar, baking soda. You can do either one. And then you let that marinate. And then you put it in the pan, and it's like the texture. I was shocked when the texture came out like actual Chinese food. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this.
Yep.
It was very easy. I have faith in you.
Google will be my friend.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony, you're up for your second pick.
All right. This one.
Yeah, the first round was Italian for me, Greek for Anthony, and Mexican for Nick. Nick started the second round off with Chinese.
This one's going to be tough.
Bro, Chinese and Mexican.
You gotta celebrate.
I'm literally
our
winning right now.
differences.
I'm literally winning right now.
I am
You
gonna.
might be.
I'm gonna have to go since it's the summertime type deal. I'm gonna go with the Midwest, but specifically, I'm gonna go Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri.
Okay.
So we're going.
Okay. Understood.
Midwest.
I guess
That is not Midwest. at all. Midwest would be the Wisconsin, Michigan area.
That's what I was thinking, but hold on.
That would be like
Even Ohio
mid-southern.
is
Yeah.
considered Midwest.
Yeah, and that would not be Texas and Oklahoma.
Texas is
Texas and
considered
Oklahoma.
south. Texas is considered southwest.
Yeah.
West south. Okay, so the west south central region, which
Sure.
is Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana. Oh yeah, with Louisiana, yeah, yep, absolutely. I'm going. We'll call it
So Cajun?
No, we'll call it the west south central region.
Well, that would be Louisiana would be Cajun.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
that's not how this works, though.
Hey, he's a good geographer.
So what? Give me an overview. Like, give me 3 things that would be
I've never
encompassed
heard
in your
anybody
area.
say West, South, Central region.
I looked it up.
Yeah, so like what are we
Give me
talking?
3
What
examples.
cuisine? Because I don't think anybody knows.
So I'm thinking you can go like barbecue. You can go
so like Texas style.
Texas style barbecue,
Okay.
Oklahoma barbecue.
I see.
You can go Louisiana. You can go with the Cajun food because it's part of that region.
All right. I suppose.
We're
Yeah,
gonna keep it. Or we're gonna veto it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'm fine
fair,
with
I guess.
that. I have no qualms.
Okay.
I've got
I'm
no
not going to
problems.
complain about it. I just don't think you can take Cajun. I don't know if I'm going to. It was on my radar, but
Cajun.
I feel like that's its own.
Cajun is a completely different genre.
Yeah, that's
It's
like
available.
okay. All right.
That's not Cajun.
Okay.
That's not. There's
I
no,
don't think that's what Anthony's saying. I think he is claiming Cajun in his.
No, I'm claiming it's pretty much barbecue.
He's claiming
Okay,
barbecue.
okay.
He's not gonna
Alright.
make Cajun. He's making barbecue.
Alright.
I've made a.
He's gonna make a rack of ribs.
I was actually thinking about brisket this time.
Oh, very good.
All right.
Very good. So you're fine. You're excused.
I didn't say I was taking Cajun. It's just on my radar.
So I'm gonna change it to Southwest barbecue. How does that work?
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Okay.
I love that. I think that's great.
Chris, pick 2.
All right. I'm very confident in both of these. Nobody took anything that I was going to take. Number 2 is Brazilian. Absolutely right. And you know who I can thank for that is all my students. I've been cooking a lot of Brazilian stuff at my house. We feature picanha.
Yes.
It's picanha. It's not picanha.
and Guaranya.
Picanha. Felipe comes up to my room and he goes, "You pronounce picanha wrong." All right. You know what? Shut up. I'm not from there. I'm from here. I'm from this area. I'm white. Brazilian number 2 and number 3 is Thai. Number 3
Those
is
are too
Thai. Okay, so when I think of Thai, I think of what I actually made quickly at home for Melissa tonight, which is using a lot of sweet chili sauce and things like that, where you build up with the soy sauce base, and you could include lime, you could include, like I said, sweet chili, a lot of garlic. So a lot of that stuff is involved with the Thai flavor, spicy as well, right? Spicy peppers and things like that. So my 3 are Italian, Brazilian, and Thai. Very worldly.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Can we make an amendment here?
I'm not changing mine.
No, I don't want you to change. Do we want to go another round? Because I feel like I have a lot left on the board here. And it brings the summer of,
I don't need any more.
but it brings the summer of cuisine from 9 weeks to 12 weeks.
Personally, I feel like the fun of it is that you have to make these hard choices.
I like that. I'm with Nikki. Now, we can vote later to extend it.
And we could still use these as food ideas for the future, even
That's
if they
right.
don't make the cut tonight.
We can give, how about this? We can give an honorable mention for each, and if we need to substitute one for some reason, we can plug it in.
Okay.
Deal.
I'm cool with an honorable mention.
Okay, Anthony, your third and final starter. I was very confident in my 3. I have no other ones that I need to cook.
This is tough because there's one that I've featured. I've cooked it a lot, but it's up there for me, so I think I'm going to pass it. and I'm gonna narrow them down. I'll eliminate as we go. This was the tri-state: New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. I think that one's up there for me, but we've covered it so much on this show.
A lot. Naturally.
Yeah.
We're in the tri-state, so.
Number 2, I was thinking French cuisine. Not a big French guy.
I'm not either. There's a reason why I didn't pick it.
Number 3, I was thinking Spanish, like España, Spanish.
He said España. This guy.
I think with my final pick, I have to go with. I'm gonna lump it in. I'm gonna lump it in as Polynesian.
It smells so good.
So I'm gonna go Japanese, Hawaiian, like Polynesian.
Hawaiian, very good, Anthony. That's a great one. There is a Hawaiian dish that Guy Fieri did, and it's a huli huli chicken. Phenomenal. I've never been able to make. You got to grill it over a rotis.
Which I have.
We got to try huli huli chicken one day. That's phenomenal, Anthony. Great pick.
So again, I'm going with Polynesian, not necessarily because I want to get some of that Samoan in there. I want to get some of that Japanese in there. I'm feeling it.
I like it.
Very well.
Nikki, your final pick.
I have got all 3 of the ones I wanted. I'm very happy. Well, other than Italian, but I knew that was going to one no matter what.
It's 1-1.
Yeah, such is life.
And so it goes.
Let me paint you a picture here. All right. Think about Thomas Rhett. Think about a great song by Thomas Rhett. Mama's House. You're traveling home after a hard day's work on the farm. And you go to grandma's house and she's cooking some fried chicken and some mashed potatoes and some gravy and some biscuits. And I'm going with South cuisine.
Southern
So
America.
you're going like
Southeast.
okay, we'll call it like Southern comfort food.
Southern comfort food.
Montreal clinched.
Did they?
Good for them.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
All right. So now, do we want to go in order for honorable mentions? Or we're kind of just going to rock it out.
No, Nick, go ahead. Give it your
Yeah. Because I'm on the spot here and I honestly didn't have anything else on my radar, give me the Louisiana Cajun.
Cajun solid. My honorable mention, I'm in between 2 regions. I think this is going to be a tough one. They both have the same influence. I'm going to go with Mexicali.
There's a lot of bending going on here by Anthony.
We're not calling Mexicali a cuisine.
I don't know what Mexicali is, so could you care to explain?
The reason why I'd have to bend on it is because Desert Moon, by definition, is Mexicali. They talk about Southwestern and Mexican, which to me sounds like Mexicali, and you kind of already said Southwestern.
Well, that would be, so I did Southwest barbecue, but Mexicali it's food in the Baja region.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
know the
thinking,
Bajas, yeah.
So I chat GPT to get a list for my radar, and for the California area, it says California cuisine, fish tacos, avocado toast, California rolls.
That's what you're talking about?
And for your Southwest one, it says Tex-Mex, which is...
You want Tex-Mex? That's Desert Moon like.
That's
That was- I was
Southwest /
between-
Texas. That's
I
your
was-
first one.
Well, I was between, so I don't want Tex-Mex. I don't want border Texas. I want middle West Texas.
Well, for the first one, you were like Oklahoma, this, that.
Yeah.
So that's Southwest / Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is Tex-Mex cuisine.
We could do
No, it's not.
Mexicali.
Tex-Mex is Mexican influence.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna argue with the chat the GPT.
Well, that's not a real
No,
person.
I'm just you're just missing one of them. I don't know if I was honorable mention.
Give it to it's Mexicali. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I just the Mexa part is throwing me off.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Mine is Dominican. That was easy.
Dominican.
Come on. Too easy. It's too easy.
Nobody wanted to take Alaskan cuisine.
Alaskan.
Reindeer sausage,
Whale. They eat whale there.
halibut,
Whale fat.
king crab.
Blah. Not the crab. The crab is good.
All right, so next week I think we just cook in draft order. So next week we are getting the Italian dish from Chris followed by the Greek
It'll
dish
be
from
something different.
followed by the Greek dish from Anthony, tripled up with the Mexican dish from Nikki. Then Nikki's going to double back
That
Southern
means 2
comfort
Thursdays in a row, y'all.
Southern comfort
Fridays.
food. I'm going to follow up with Chinese food. I'm going to follow up with Southwest barbecue. Chris is going to hit us with some Brazilian, followed up with some Thai food. I'm going to finish with Polynesian, and we're getting Southern comfort food to finish off.
That's awesome. Fantastic.
That's a really. I feel really good about this. This is the summer of sports and spaghetti, boys.
Yeah, the summer of around the world cuisine.
Y'all are gonna get some good fried chicken and biscuits.
I'm
Like at
excited
some
for
Mammo's house.
If he comes in with Popeyes, off the show.
Automatic disqualification. All right, we're going to take a 2-second break, and when you hear me again, it's going to be in no particular order. All right, we're back. It's time for no particular order, and I have an honorable mention bad, and it's all of the people on TikTok who voted that mint and chocolate are not good together. That is a terrible take. Okay, that is my honorable mention. 48 votes already in the early going, and 27 to 21 said that mint and chocolate is bad, and it's immature people.
28. I haven't voted yet.
Well, 22 and 23, that is good.
Anyway, people like Nick, and my mom also doesn't like it. I don't know what's wrong with you people.
I don't like eating toothpaste.
Hold on.
Straight up.
It's not toothpaste!
Hold on. There's somebody.
It is toothpaste.
I want to see where he's
It
at.
doesn't taste the same.
It does. It tastes like
Hold
a
on.
tube of Colgate.
Hold on. We're going to have a guest on the pod here.
What's up, bud?
What's up, buddy? You are on Sports and Spaghetti right now.
Oh boy. What's up?
I got a question for you, okay? I got a question,
Okay, I got an answer
Eli.
for you.
I need you to tell me if mint and chocolate are a good combination.
They 100% are a fantastic combination.
Thank you. There's another vote for the good. It's Eli. Thank you.
So yeah,
You're
we
welcome.
just it tastes so much better when you don't have somebody over your shoulder telling you that it tastes like toothpaste. If you know, you know.
So you have to pretend that it's not toothpaste in order to enjoy it.
Thanks, buddy.
That's a terrible take. That's a terrible
You
take.
have to pretend it's not toothpaste. If I'm in your ear telling you Crest, Colgate, you're gonna be like, "Oh, this is kind of
So
trash."
what
Oral-B or nothing.
So what bothers me? Wrong. What
No,
bothers?
no, I'm just
No,
kidding.
you gotta. There's a new one. It's really good.
What's it called?
It's called Colgate, and that's the only
No,
option.
I can't think
I
of it
just
right
have
now.
the crest.
Crest
No,
is good too.
it's really good.
Crest
Hold on.
whitening. Ooh.
I used it on my Yuka. I
Sensodyne.
used it
Yeah.
on my Yuka app.
What is this? Some
It's one of those words I've seen it.
Smile
I've seen it.
Smile. They have Smile.
Yeah.
I think they have Hello.
Hold on, I got. It's hello. It's hello.
It's hello! It's the charcoal!
No, it's not the charcoal one. It's the hello one, but it is. I use it's the naturally whitening fluoride toothpaste.
Okay.
They also sell without fluoride, but I use it's farm grown mint, tea tree oil, and coconut oil. It is the best toothpaste I've ever used.
Farm grown.
if you know, you know.
It is the best.
If you know, you know.
It is the best toothpaste I've ever used. My issue when people say that it tastes like
Y'all are thinking it.
when it tastes like toothpaste, it's two different types of mint.
Absolutely.
Most of your mint flavored ice cream is spearmint.
Yeah.
Most of the other stuff is peppermint. It's two totally different things.
Or they put peppermint oil in the ice cream, and I like that too. I really don't care, and I don't care if you think it tastes like toothpaste because I love it. So anyway, you're part of the bad. The real bad though is I'm not sure who deserves this bad more, the Canucks or the Rangers, because if you look at the seasons that both of them had, both teams missed the playoffs this season after being two of the best teams in hockey last year. I mean, the Rangers won the President's Trophy last year, and look at where they are. They're 1 point above the Islanders with 1 game left. And it was a season riddled in mediocrity for both teams. I think I'm giving the edge in disappointment to the New York Rangers. And I'm not saying that because I'm not a fan of them. I'm really not. I think this goes really deep. This problem is deeply rooted, Anthony. It's not a coach or a player issue, Nick. I think it's an identity thing. The fans are turning against this team. There is no desire, not one bit of enthusiasm or excitement when the goal goes in. when you're trying to make a comeback. This team is not excited about anything. And the other thing is, I'm tired of people saying that Shesterkin's a problem. And they're comparing him to Carey Price and say Shesterkin is the only reason, like Ilya Sorokin on the Islanders, why the team had even sniffed a playoff spot for any amount of time. Okay, as much as I go off on Shesterkin, that guy is the only reason they had a chance in any game. Jonathan Quick did great. So in general, their goaltending was the only reason they were halfway decent, and that is a stretch. They are a disgraceful organization at this point because of the way that they handled this season. It looked really messy and bad, and from the GM and the ownership straight down, that situation seems like it needs to be torn down and rebuilt.
It's just it's odd for me because of the fact that this is a team that won the President's Trophy last year, and they didn't really lose anybody. They brought back the same team, and it was a mess, for lack of a better term. It was an absolute mess. And again, like you were saying, it's most definitely it's a deep-rooted problem. It's a deep-rooted issue.
Well, we'll see. We'll do an episode during the summer on how the Rangers can fix that, because it's going to take a little bit of a deep dive. Mark Messier, who does the NHL on TNT as an analyst there, he was doing a segment on how to fix the Rangers, and this was during the game where they were eliminated from playoff contention, and so it's changed even from there. They're in a bad spot. All right, ready? The is that Leicester City could be relegated from the Prem this week. They did score twice last weekend to break their streak from January 23rd of no Premier League goals. They drew 2-2.
It did go on for your absence.
We kept it going.
That's a tough one.
All three teams that came up last season are heading back down.
That's very rare.
Yeah, it is quite rare. Southampton is already confirmed, and they have 10 points. This is the whole if they don't get one more point this season, that's our new record for low points in a season. Leicester and then Ipswich, who finished 1 and 2, are all headed down. The Wolves, who are the next team that would be relegated, are 18 points clear of everybody. So there's a lot of bad teams at the bottom, and it's 3 of them, and it's mine. So that's the good. I think the Minnesota Wild deserve an award of some sort for the way they've handled Marc-Andre Fleury. They have given him every opportunity to shine in his final season, and none better than Tuesday when the point that the Wild earned pushing the game to overtime was secured. Late comeback, by the way, by the Wild. And Gustafsson, the starting goalie for the Wild, told the coach to put Flower in for overtime. Not only did he do that, but it paid off in a big way because Fleury made 5 saves in overtime, and the Wild got the win in the dying seconds of overtime for his 575th career win because the game was tied when he went in, so he's the goalie of record. He also made 5 overtime saves, including an acrobatic missed poke, but then he does the 2-pad stack, that like Dominic Hasek thing that he does. It just textbook Fleury. He even got a goalpost kiss in overtime. Like, it was just classic Fleury, and if that's the last game he ever plays, and again, he may see playoff action depending on, hey, if Gustafsson gets hurt, you don't want that to happen, or if he has a bad game, and Fleury's cleaning up, mop-up duty, whatever it may be. I mean, they rode Gusty really hard at the end of the season, and they had to, and none other than Marc-Andre Fleury would understand that, of course. He's the starting goalie, Gustafsson. He's going to play a lot of the games, as many starters did. But just the class that the Wild handled it with, man, oh my God, it's so nice to see. Really nice.
It's a team, their organization, I feel like they do a really good job. And I think it started when they cut Parise, because like that's somebody you kind of should have let play out the rest of his career. Like, I understand he was making a lot of money, but they bought him out. And I think it kind of started with that because you have a legend in Marc-Andre Fleury. And you can't, like, the only thing better than how he got the treatment with the Wild is if he went back to Pittsburgh and got that treatment. Like, that's
and
the only
he wouldn't
thing.
have if he went back there because that team is a mess.
And, like, that's the only thing I can see. Like, I mean, the guy, realistically, we'll talk about it later, but the guy has a chance for another cup.
Yes.
He does.
He's in the playoffs. You have a chance.
But, that's the thing where it's that I'm very happy with how they handled it. I'm proud of my organization for this.
I would be too. I'm proud of how they've handled it, and they're not even my team. It's just cool to see the goalie who I used to color my cardboard pads like now here at this juncture. It's just really cool. Somebody I really looked up to.
Well, Chris, you mentioned that you look up to players. There's a quite a substantial list of retirements coming up this season. And these are guys, again, that we've looked up to, you've looked up to, Nikki's looked up to. And, I mean, we can talk about a couple of them. The first one, we'll just stay right on.
We're each going to do two, and then we're going to do our playoff brackets.
Yeah, we'll just stay right on Flower. Marc-Andre Fleury, we'll give you a little rundown. I'll give you a rundown since he's on the Wild. First overall pick in 2003, immediately into the spotlight, like right away. He's played over 1,000 NHL games. He has 3 Stanley Cups. He does have a Vezina with Vegas. Now, he was also the first goalie in Vegas Golden Knights history. So that's another big That's another big accomplishment. He has a 2010 Olympic gold medal, 545, like Chris said, career wins, second all time. I believe it's only behind Marty Brodeur. But again, Chris said it. He's acrobatic, highlight reel saves. The guy was an infectious personality with, the goalpost kiss and, talks to him in English and French because he doesn't know what language they speak. Like,
no, he doesn't know where the iron's from.
That's what it was. Yeah, you don't know where the iron's from. And you could tell he never took himself too seriously. Fans everywhere, every team he went to loved him. Guy's a Hall of Fame lock. I'm glad he got to spend time with Minnesota.
That's awesome. Anthony, who's your other one?
My second one, we got Big Rig, Pat Maroon. I like this guy because he is an absolute grinder. All right, he is physical, locker room guy, leader, motivator. One thing I really, really like about it, he earned every second of ice time in his career. Now, there was a lot of ice time. The guy played over 750 games. He was a journeyman, but a journeyman with 3 Stanley Cups. He has one in 2020 and 2021 with Tampa. But the most important, I think, for him came in 2019, St. Louis Blues, play Gloria. That's his hometown team. And he pretty much kept their season alive because one of the most clutch moments I've ever seen in a hockey game, it broke my wife's heart, right? The double overtime Game 7 winner, Dallas. He sneaks it in. He went right up. Was that the one where? No, that wasn't over Bishop's back.
No.
That was against Boston in the finals. But again, double OT, Game 7 winner, clutch, Big Rig Pat Maroon. 2 huge players, 2 big personalities, 2 big locker room guys. But it's nice to see that they had different paths. One of them immediately in the spotlight. The other one had to fight for everything. And both will be missed, both by fans and in the locker room.
Very good, Nikki?
Chris, I got for you a Sharks legend, Logan Couture.
Oh, yes.
I mean, come on. This guy was awesome with the Sharks. He was their captain for the past, I don't know how long, 7 years, 8 years, forever he's been their captain.
He's played 16 seasons.
Yeah, and he's been their captain for a reason because, as far as I remember, as far as I have written down, 2016 Stanley Cup playoffs, led all players in scoring with 30 points, 10 goals, 10 assists in 24 games. First ever trip for the Sharks to the Stanley Cup final.
Yep.
Yes, they lost. I'm aware. But he broke the record for most points by any NHL player in the postseason since Evgeny Malkin in 2009.
That's amazing.
And he became the captain after this season. Well-deserved. Great player. It's sad that his career has come to an end in this way.
Yeah, with his injuries. He didn't want to stop playing, but he still had an incredibly successful career. Maybe not a Hall of Famer, But
Close. He'll be voted
but
for.
One of those. He's a Ring of Honor guy.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's a ring where maybe not the NHL,
Sharks
but
Ring
Sharks
of Honor for
always,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Sharks legend. Sharks Hall of Famer. And I got Louis Eriksson for you as well. Sweden guy. Played for Dallas and Boston. Huge, amazing career. And one of his biggest accomplishments being bringing home the IHF World Championship to Team Sweden. First time that the hosting country won since Soviet Union in 1986. So that's 30 years. And he got 5 goals, 10 points in 10 games in that run.
it's almost 40
for Sweden.
40 years.
30. 86 to 13?
You didn't say the year.
Yes. 2013, sorry. When Team Sweden won the gold medal on home ice in Stockholm. And Louis Eriksson, great career, great guy for Sweden, great guy for Dallas and Boston. Earned everything he did. And yeah.
And the theme here is that I know, Anthony, you're relatively new to hockey compared to me.
Less than 10 seasons, yeah.
Right, relatively. And you know these guys, but especially with guys like Fleury and with the two that I'm going to say, Pat Maroon also, these are guys that have been in the league since Nikki and I were playing hockey in the living room of our old house.
Well, it's like, what was it? Couture was drafted in 2007.
Yeah, these are guys.
We were 9.
We're playing NHL 11, NHL 2K, whatever, and these are guys that we're doing.
Fantasy drafting.
Yeah, we're drafting them and
Go to Wesco and then their names are on the sticks.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's the Couture curve, the Ovechkin curve, right. So, my first one is Alec Martinez, okay? Alec Martinez just announced his retirement, and as a defenseman, as a shot-blocking defensive defenseman, you really couldn't ask for a more important player on your team. Alec Martinez finished his career with 3 Stanley Cups. He won in 2012 and 2014 with LA, and he won in 2023 with Vegas. He played 862 games over his career, but there was no game more important than Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals against the New York Rangers, where Martinez became the first defenseman in NHL history to score the cup-clinching game in overtime. And it was in double overtime against Henrik Lundqvist. The Stanley Cup, Martinez! What a great
That's a good
moment.
call. I even know that call.
Yeah.
Doc. Oh my God! I mean that is what Kings fans and even any NHL fan knows. That Alec Martinez, Cup winner. I mean, it was just an electric moment in Kings history. It's unbelievable that was over 10 years ago already. But Alec Martinez, and then I saved my favorite for my second. And we're not 100% sure, but it was definitely Matt Martin's last home game yesterday. Islanders, honestly, legend. He played 986 career games, most of them with the Islanders. He did go to the Maple Leafs for a season and a half, and then he came back. And there was nobody happier that he came back than Grammy.
This is true.
Grammy was a big Matt Martin fan. That was her Matt. And his stats, right? You want to talk about his goals and things like that. I mean, Matty finished his career with a whopping 81 goals and 97 assists over 986 games played. But the thing to note here is that Matt Martin was not a goon. Okay? Matt Martin was a hard, heavy checking enforcer early on in his career. But you look at the way he finished his career, Nick, he had 43 penalty minutes last season.
It's crazy.
63 the season before, 70 the season before, 36 before that, 40, 53, 50. So over his last 8 seasons, he's the guy that's standing up for your team and not making you look like a bunch of dopes, which they are.
Yes.
He's the only reason that team had a backbone, him and Cal Clutterbuck, for the past 9 seasons. Then you look, okay, the beginning of his career, 147 minutes, 123. So he accumulated a lot over the first 8 seasons. But over the last 8, since he returned to the Islanders, he has handled himself as an enforcer with such class. And you go around the league and you hear other guys talking about him over the last week, and guys are saying one of the classiest hitters in history. He is second all time in hits.
That's crazy.
Number 1 is Cal Clutterbuck. The only reasons why that team had a backbone.
The garbage team.
And now, if you see where I'm headed, they're losing now both the backbones. Both of the backbones. So who does that leave? Anthony Duclair?
First round pick in
Whoa,
2
Anthony
seasons.
Duclair is probably canned.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's great. But anyway, Matt Martin.
That's all right, brother. The Islanders are going to win the lottery. They're going to win. Number 1.
That would be ridiculous. Hey, if they lose their game tomorrow, they'll get a top 10 pick most likely, and that's big. They're 23rd in the league right now. That's good. Lose that game to Columbus tomorrow.
They better lose 20-0.
I don't care if it's 1-0 as long as they lose. No points. No points. I want a top 10 pick. All right. We are picking our first round matchups. Okay, we are picking our first round matchups live here. I am going to say the name of a series. We are going to give our picks. We are going to put a picture of our online brackets that we fill out tomorrow when they open up, because tomorrow is the official end of the regular season. I guess they could open up tomorrow. Well,
There was a timer for the end of the season.
I know. I'm saying they could because now the playoffs are established, all the matchups and teams. But in any event, let's pick. We'll start in the Western Conference. Why not? We'll start on the left side. So the number 1 overall seed and President's Trophy clinching Winnipeg Jets take on the St. Louis Blues. You'll vote on whose you think is going to win when we post those this weekend. We'll start with Nikki. Nikki, Winnipeg or St. Louis, and 1 sentence. You can give me a 1-sentence answer. I don't want a deep dive here.
Chris, I got Winnipeg in 5. I think they actually dropped the first game because they have been a little cold and the Blues have been hot. And then Winnipeg gets back on track and sweeps the series after the first game.
Okay. Anthony Panthony.
I'm gonna go Winnipeg. I'm gonna go Winnipeg in 5 as well. 3-1 against the Blues this season. Winnipeg is just they're the elite team. There's a reason they're the number 1 in the NHL. It's going to be hard to crack Winnipeg. So Jets in 5.
I'm going to say Jets in 6. I'm going to give Jordan Binnington a little bit of credit here. This team did the same thing in 2019 when I worked at NHL Network and they won the cup. So you can never count St. Louis out. I'm going to say Winnipeg is, like you said, overpowered here. And Connor Hellebuck is the best goalie on the planet right now. And has been for him, and Vasi have been forever. I say Winnipeg in 6. So that's the first matchup. Vegas and Minnesota. We'll reverse it. I'll go first this time. Minnesota in 7. Wild in 7 for me. I think this is the year the Wild finally get their playoff series win. I think Vegas has a tendency to go cold come playoff time. I know they won the cup in 2023. I'm not stupid, but I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Vegas this year. And I think the Wild are feeling really good about their life as our set falls apart. I think the Wild are feeling really good, and I say Wild in 7. Anthony.
I don't want to bet against my team. I also don't want to bet with my team.
This is a tough one for you.
I know. Minnesota 0-3 versus Vegas this season. All 3 of those games came without Kirill Kaprizov. The guy is on fresh legs. They're starting to get scoring. I'm going to follow you on this one, Minnesota in 7.
I think I might be optimistic in saying that, and I'm not rooting. I mean, I'm rooting for the Wild for you, but it's just one of those.
We don't know what Vegas team is going to turn up.
Right. Nikki.
Vegas is my second team.
I know.
I'm a little biased here.
It's okay.
But I also saw that Minnesota's 0-3 against Vegas. They've struggled against them. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they haven't had Kirill, but because of this, I had to put Vegas in 4.
Oh, you're taking a sweet.
Oh, my
They're
God.
Vegas in the playoffs is a very scary team. I think Minnesota might get a little shell-shocked by what Vegas brings out.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
do.
Vegas does have a good goal differential. Minnesota, yeah,
And
all
Vegas
right.
has a lot of playoff experience, and Minnesota does not.
I think if you give Minnesota the first game, it's a big trouble spot for Vegas.
Yes. Vegas will flounder when pushed back.
Right. But
But
if they come out flying, I
Yeah.
could see a sweep too. All right. I like that. Some differentiation.
I think we're going to see Fleury in this series because Gus, while he's good, I can definitely, especially if it goes 7, I could see it being 2-1, 3-1 Vegas, and then, hey, let's get Flower, and
They
it's
pull a
Flower.
win out.
It's Flower. So
You
If
know,
they do that,
playing
then
against his old
Minnesota
team.
will win in 7 for sure. That was in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
If they put Fleury in when they're down a little bit,
And these things always happen
They
with multiple
Yeah.
teams every year.
and it's always you need one person to catch on fire. So
I mean, it literally happened with Flower on Vegas.
Yeah.
In his first.
And it
season.
happened to Flower in Pittsburgh
Yeah,
multiple
yeah.
times. This is the only reason the Islanders lost the series in 2013 is because they took Fleury out. But that was the old him. All right, Dallas and Colorado. Nick.
I don't know if I can say this on air, but I want to kill myself because I do not want to pick Dallas, but I wrote down Dallas in 6 because that team is just good, unfortunately.
Very good. Anthony.
we know my feelings here. I think this is going to be an absolute bloodbath of a series. I think this is going to be an absolute dogfight. With that being said, I think Dallas pulled the tough end of it here. I think they're going to be facing a very hungry Colorado team. I'm going to say Colorado in 7.
All right. I have Colorado in 5. Brock Nelson will not be denied. Brock Nelson will not be denied. Brock Nelson is not going to be denied. Colorado in 5, led by Nathan McKinnon and Brock Nelson
Nathan McKinnon is
and Marty Necas.
he's the favorite for the Hart Trophy right now.
You bet. Avs in 5. I think they're going to stomp the Stars. Oh, boy, do I hope they stomp them. L.A. and Edmonton, everybody's favorite series. You know what? This is a boring series for me. It's probably the one I'll be the least interested in watching. The Kings have been red hot lately, and I think the Kings are going to win. The Oilers are decimated by injuries right now. The Oilers are a shell of themselves. I mean, really, Ekholm, Draisaitl, Skinner's been on the mend. Evander Kane has been out. Nick McDavid is not 100%. Hyman is not. Like, the whole team is injured. The whole entire core is, and there's more I haven't even said. So I think LA in 6, which would be nice for me. I don't want Edmonton to win. I don't like them.
I have LA in 6 as well. The Kings, they are 3-1 against Edmonton this season. They've played them twice in the month of April, and they have outscored them 8-0. I think the Kings are going to roll. Kings in 6.
Nick.
I think the Kings are fraudulent.
Darcy Kemper is a fraudulent goalie at times. He does have a cup, though.
I don't, regardless of what happened in the regular season, I don't think they match up well against Edmonton in playoff time. I think Edmonton's too fast. I know they're missing guys, but when those guys start rolling back in the lineup, I do believe that the Kings will have troubles. And
If those guys come back, then the Kings are done.
yes, and that is why I have Edmonton in 5.
Wow, I like it, Nick. All right, let's move to the Eastern Conference. Washington, the number 1 seed in the East, against Montreal, recently confirmed as the wild card 2. Marty St. Louis got his team to the playoffs in 3 seasons. Way ahead of schedule. Bravo to the Canadians. It was the team I was rooting for, and I'm really happy they took care of it before Columbus had to try to beat the Islanders tomorrow, because I would be so nervous, and I'd need my team to show up, and we all know they won't. They would have let me down. So, Washington, Montreal, I'll go first this time. Boy, I want Montreal to win so bad. Let me just say that. I want Montreal to win incredibly bad. And I think they're going to make it a series. I do. But not much of one. Washington in 5. I do. Washington in 5.
This is one of those series where everybody's going to expect Montreal to get rolled. I think they're going to come out. I think they take game 1. Maybe game 3. Regardless, I have Washington in 6. It's going to be too close for comfort for Washington for the first 5 games, and then they're just going to have to step on their throat. We've seen it before with the 1 seed.
I think these games are going to be really hotly contested and close games. But I've seen with the Islanders, myself being in this position, even in those close games, the top seed comes out and they score that extra goal. They have just that little bit more jam, as some announcers call it. But, Nick, what do you think?
I'm really proud of Marty for getting Montreal their 4.
Same.
But 4 is all it will be, unfortunately. Washington in 4.
Washington to sweep.
Yeah.
So the reverse of what happened in the Caps last year,
Yes.
which is what they got swept by the Rangers.
Washington is too good this year.
That team is pretty unstoppable.
And Montreal just squeaked in, man. It's just not going to go their way, unfortunately.
I don't know. I don't think it was a squeak in. But
It was
compared to
the second to last day of the
All right,
season that
fine.
they clinched.
Fine.
That's squeaking.
But they held that position for a while.
Okay, that's
They've
valid.
been in that position for almost a month.
Yes.
So
A couple points out of being out.
Yes. But they finished the season with 91 points.
They should be happy. They should be very
which
happy
is
with their
huge
season.
for Marty. Nobody's rooting harder for Marty than Nicky. Are you kidding me?
He's your Zach Parise, right?
He's my GOAT.
Yeah. He's like my goat too. Like, just from Nicky loving him so much. I'm also like, I love this guy. All right, Toronto and Ottawa. I'm excited for this one. Oh boy, am I excited for this one. And everybody knows who I'm picking. Nick, go first.
Oh man, Chris. Toronto is the most stupid playoff team in the history of the NHL. They're god awful in the playoffs. I don't know what's wrong with them, and I laugh every time. It's just great humor. I have them in 7, actually, because I know they will flounder, but I think they'll actually pull it off this time. Genuinely, they're so much better than Ottawa. It's not even close.
In the regular season.
And there is no reason this game should go more than 5, but it will go to 7 because Toronto's Toronto. But I do think they will actually squeak it out this time.
All right.
But I would love if they didn't.
Oh, man, if they got swept.
If they lost, period. I'd rather them lose in 7 than get swept because they always lose in
It
7.
would just be the heartbreak that we need in Toronto. Holy Mackinac in Toronto!
Ottawa was my surprise team at the beginning of the season. I think they were going to put it together. The reason they're going to put it together and the reason why I have them beating Toronto in 7 is because Linus Ullmark in his last 5 games against Toronto, win, shutout, win.
I love the stats he's brought out
Yeah.
tonight.
See, this is appropriate stat keeping right here, man.
Linus Ullmark, 6-5-1 in 13 games, 2.86 goals against, 905 save percentage against the Maple Leafs. Most of those losses
Heavy duty.
Most of those losses came when he was with Buffalo. He was horrible with Buffalo, had the resurgence in Boston, but the last 5 he's been on fire. Linus Ullmark, Ottawa Senators, you're gonna beat Toronto.
Ottawa in 7 for me as well. In Toronto, Come playoff time, it started earlier in the week. I put on all the Leafs games, and I sync up the radio feed with Joe Bowen. Holy Mackinac! You know him, right?
Yes, of course.
I sync him. He knows me, so he knows Joe Bowen. I sync up his audio to the video, and I mute the video feed. It's easier when it's on TV because when I do the very legal streaming sites, they delay and they buffer, and then ads play. But I'm excited for them to be in the playoffs for Joe Bowen. And I'm really excited for him to be disappointed because when he gets mad, it's really funny. Unbelievable. Ottawa in 7. Awesome. Tampa Bay against Florida. The 2-3 in the Atlantic Division. Two teams close in points.
They always play each other, too.
In fact, they're tied for the closest spread in points of any matchup in the playoffs. Tampa Bay in 5. I'm done. I'm done with Florida.
Unanimous?
Tampa at 5.
Tampa in
5. You guys, I mean, these two teams have played each other super close this season. I think there's 2-2. So
I think Tampa Bay might win the Stanley Cup this year. That's just me.
On the record, it is possible.
They are as good a team as any right now. We've talked week in and week out. Just an extraordinary thing for them to have a lull the last couple seasons after the Cups and still be relevant each of those seasons. And now
They always get hot at the right time.
Always. They're always rolling. They've got points in 9 of their last 10 games coming into the last day tomorrow. It's clockwork. John Cooper is just an excellent coach. He won't be in the consideration for Coach of the Year, but he should. He could be every year. They buy into him, man. It's so fun. Tampa in 5. I hope so.
Now, one thing before we move on, one thing I do want to mention about this is there's always going to be one outlier in these series, especially when these teams are so close. And recently, this was yesterday, NHLPA did a poll where they polled the players. We love our polls on this.
Pause.
Thank you for the well-timed pause. And the players this year, they said, who is the best goalie? Now, this is voted on by the players. With 31.13% of the vote was Vasilevsky. And with 8% of the vote, it was Bob. So, honestly, I think Vasilevsky is going to take it over. Shesterkin came in second. Connor Hellebuyck, who's probably going to win the Vezina, in third place. So you know the respect that this guy is getting around the league. I think playoff time he's going to lock in, and that's why I think that's why I think unanimously Tampa in 5.
Carolina, New Jersey, the last one. Nick.
Carolina have been flying under the radar all season, but they are still just as good as ever. Give me Carolina in 6. The Devils are fraudulent in playoff time too.
Anthony,
you want to take this one?
Carolina in 4.
I had Carolina in 5.
Hurricanes in 4. The Devils aren't winning a game.
It bothers me right now that Calgary, who on record is my second team, more points than the Devils, missed the playoffs.
I have to say, the Devils are the only team in the NHL this season to be in a playoff spot from day 1 of the regular season to the last day. I have to say. They were very consistent. They only finished with 91 points, which is the same as, 1 point more than the Canucks, who missed the playoffs, fewer than the Flames, who missed the playoffs. It's the same amount of points as the Canadiens, who squeaked in, like Nicky said, which is absolutely right about that. But, Devils are frauds.
So is this one where we're going to just fill out our bracket and then kind of like March Madness-wise, and then we can kind of update every week?
Yeah. That's right. Very good. Very good. Before we go, you're gonna do it in the grinders. We could just go straight to the grinders. Let's go to the grinders because we're running out of time. I'm gonna bleep this. You bastard! You stole mine, and I took his. Oh, come on!
I was so mad too.
How could I have picked anybody else?
This is why you don't look at the script.
I load into the script and I was like,
I could steal both of yours right here. I got 2. But guess what? I don't care.
My Grammys grinder of the week is Jet Greaves of the Columbus Blue Jackets, who since being called up earlier this month, the goaltender, is 4-0-0. He did everything he could do. He had shutouts in 2 of his last 3 games. He'll be the first star of the NHL for this week, I'm sure. If they don't gimmicky give it to Fleury or somebody else that's retiring, no offense. But statistically speaking, Jet Greaves almost rescued the Blue Jackets season. He was 1 point away from it. And unfortunately for him, the Canadians won today, so that's all for naught. But he propelled them into a potential playoff spot, a la Wade Dublowitz did for the Islanders in 2007.
That's a name I know.
And so Jet Greaves is my Grammys grinder of the week.
Nikki, take yours, and then we'll end on a good note.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've got 2, but they're quick. I got Nikita Kucherov for winning the Art Ross, basically.
Quietly.
Yes, very quietly. I know McKinnon hasn't been playing the past few games. It would have been a lot closer.
I don't care. Hey, whoa. So what?
So what?
He didn't play the games.
Exactly. If he wanted to win it, he should have played him. Anyways, Kucherov, Art Ross, and I think this one's so important to him because there was a lot of talk about Stamkos makes Kucherov makes Stamkos, this, that. He just showed that he's still one of the top 2 this year, the top 1 without Stamkos, and
The top scorer in the NHL.
Yes.
Like literally
Yes.
the best scorer.
yes.
This is no joke. This guy is dangerous from anywhere on the ice. Who's the other one?
And Ovechkin, and I want to mention him as my honorable mention grinder because I don't care about his record at all, to be completely honest. I care about, this was like a week or 2 ago. I saw this and I forgot about it, but then we were talking about it today and it reminded me of it. When they played the Wild and the game had ended and Ovechkin went to say goodbye to Fleury as it would be Fleury's last game at Washington or whatever the case was, Ovechkin looked back and his team was gone. And he raced over to the tunnel and called every single one of them back out of the locker room to come shake Fleury's hand. And if that isn't a captain and describes why this team is where they are right now, I don't know what does. So thank you, Ovechkin. That was awesome.
That was great.
As a Fleury lover as
awesome
well.
grinder.
And yes, that is why Ovechkin, I don't care about the record. That's why he's my grinder this
That
week.
is a well said, well stated, Nick. Good job.
It's time to go off the tracks a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Tate McCrane.
We're gonna talk about this for a little bit. Okay, this is gonna go.
It's gonna take a few minutes.
It's gonna be the longest grinder we've had so far. Okay. Now, before I reveal it, we're just gonna have a conversation about baseball. We haven't touched on it. It's been an all hockey episode. Juan Soto. Okay, the highest paid player in baseball.
He's the highest paid athlete in North America right
The
now.
highest paid North American athlete. Okay? Not having a good season so far, as one would have expected.
I mean, now, if your name is Gleyber Torres, it's not a bad season. But Gleyber doesn't make 700 and whatever million.
856.
So, Juan Soto, this has been in the news. I don't know if you've noticed,
I
Nikki.
did see it.
They asked him, how's it like being a Met? How's it like being on the Yankees' little brother? And the highest paid player, athlete in North American sports replied with possibly the worst thing you can say as a Met.
Right.
Mets fans are imploding already, less than 1 month into the season. Juan Soto, when asked, how has it been on the Mets? He said, quote, it's definitely different, Soto said of the pitcher's approach. I had the best hitter in baseball hitting behind me. I was getting more attacked and more pitches in the strike zone, less intentional walks and things like that. I was pitched differently last year. Juan, let's take a step back, okay? You were offered a boatload of money to to stay in front of the best hitter in baseball. I'm not going to back down on that statement. Aaron Judge is the best hitter on the planet right now. Juan Soto, you took a lot of money to leave the Yankees. Mets fans were dancing on our graves, okay? Our tears were watering the Mets fans' crops this year, okay? This is what you get. This is what you get when it's all about the money. It doesn't matter who you have behind you. When you're greedy like that, you're never going to win. The Mets are never going to win the World Series. Now, this might come back to bite me. It might come back to bite me, but the trajectory of what's happened, he's made one of the most likable players in baseball for the last decade. Everybody hates this man now because he leaves, he goes to a crosstown rival for the money. And what happens? You insult the hottest hitter in the major leagues right now. My Grammys grinder is Pete Alonso,
well done, Anthony.
who is hitting behind Juan Soto right now. Now, Pete Alonso, you might be thinking, he can't be better than Aaron Judge. His numbers are real close, okay? Coming into today, batting .365, 5 home runs, 21 RBIs. His OPS is 1.204. Wow. This guy has been quietly raking behind Juan Soto.
All-star right there.
And what do we get? We get Juan Soto striking out, rolling over, grounding the ball out, and he said, it's because of the guy behind me.
Guy behind you is doing pretty well. What's your excuse, bro?
Yeah, he has 21 RBIs. You're not on base for many of them. This is what happens when you leave for the money. This is what happens when you're greedy. So, despite being thrown under the bus and then backed up over and then driven over again, Pete Alonso, you are my Grammys grinder for the week.
Well done, Anthony.
My White Sox have more wins than the Rockies.
There you go. Your White Sox.
Thanks, pal.
We made predictions.
I know.
That's for me. That's all right. Nobody jabbed at me yet today, so
I'm a believer.
Very good, Nick. Guys, do this.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you next video.
And thank you, Sabrina. This has been an exciting episode of Sports and Spaghetti. We got a lot done today.
It was a good one.
Indeed.
We got a lot done today. Follow us on TikTok at Sports and Spag Pod and on Instagram at Sports and Spaghetti Pod. And we'll put more polls up and keep voting on them. It makes me happy when I see all these people voting, even if they're all my students. I really don't care. It makes me happy.
And there are 5 or 6 burners.
Let Mr. Walker know I won the draft.
One of my students, his name starts with an R, and he's like, Mr. Walker, I made you an account to get you more likes and views. I was like, hey, you know what? Fine.
Thanks, man.
I was like, I didn't ask for that, but okay.
Flood that algo.
Go ahead, Anthony.
All right, that's Nikki. That's Chris. I'm Ant. No food on the table because we have a very exciting summer of cuisines coming at you. So make sure you guys stay tuned, stay involved. Tell us what you think. As always, take care of your loved ones. When things aren't going well, blame somebody else, just like Juan Soto. And as always, stay full.